Hi, this is John with Walsworth Yearbooks, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use InDesign to create some comic book style designs such as these bubbles and these angled sort of boxes. So I'm going to show with several different ways, and the first one I'm going to show is the pencil tool. And literally with the pencil tool, if you just draw something, it becomes a shape, and then you can simply place an image into that. The reason I have this right here is oftentimes I will use something like this as my inspiration for a shape instead of just trying to draw it. So I actually am going to lock this on the page for a moment, and then still using that pencil tool, if I were to just, outline one of these, that might give me a little bit better result because I have something to work off of. Okay, so either way, I could simply place an image by going File, Place, and finding my image, and it will go right in there. Okay, and of course I can reposition it as I see fit, and there we have it. Okay, now if we don't like the pencil tool, we could also use the pen tool. And the pen tool works much in the same way, and I particularly prefer it for angled shapes as opposed to round shapes, although it does work quite well for round shapes as well. So as you can see here, all I'm doing is just clicking everywhere I want a curve or an angle, and there we go. Okay, so same accomplishment there. Now, if I wanted to create these sort of angled boxes, this acts as the perfect tool for that. Let me okay, and I'm gonna lock that in place also. Okay, and I'm just gonna take this pen tool. Okay, let's do another one. And one more, just because I want to show something else with this. And again, I'm just using this image here as my inspiration because I feel like it's a little easier to start that way. You don't have to use a template like that. You can completely create it from scratch. I want to jump ahead to this gap tool right here. This is the gap tool. Okay, so when we click on this gap tool and we go in between two objects, you'll see how it gives you those two arrows. And so then you can sort of decide exactly what size you want these to be. And that's a really, really cool way to give your spread a little bit of a different effect or change it up a little bit from spread to spread. So I really like that tool. Okay, so let's move on to the Polygon tool. And right here is the rectangle tool. If you right click on it, you have ellipse and polygon. Okay, now we're going to use the rectangle and ellipse in a moment, but for now I want you to click on Polygon tool, and if you double click on that, it will bring up these settings, and you'll notice here you can change the number of sides and the inset. The inset is how far in do the points go. So if you think of something with a high inset, then it will go in really far, kind of like a star shape. Or if it doesn't go in very far, it would be a low number, and that would be more like a stop sign sort of look. Okay, so let's just leave it at 9 for 60%, and I'm going to click OK, and I'm just going to start to draw a shape here. Now, if you hold down the Shift key when you do that, you'll get a perfect symmetrical object. If you don't hold down the Shift key, you see you can get this sort of skewed image. Okay, so right there, that might be good enough for what you need. If you want to change some of these points, you could certainly do that just by clicking the pen tool And as you see here, you can either delete points, undo that. You can add points, or you can actually convert the direction of points as well. So, you've got some that you've seen here that have curves to it, and this might be one way that you could achieve that. You can delete parts of the handlebar if you want. Really, anything goes as far as that's concerned. And if you don't like that, you could just double click again on your Polygon tool and change the number of sides and inset and give yourself a little bit different object. All right. Now the Pathfinder tool, if I put those two objects together and highlight both of them, I'm going to go up to Object and Pathfinder. I'm sorry, if I go up to Window, Object and Layout, and click on Pathfinder. In the Pathfinder tool, these right here are the ones that I'm looking at. This first one, if I click that, it's going to add those two together. And now both of those two shapes just became one shape. So I could go up to File, Place, and place an image in there. And as you can see, it fills that entire thing. Okay, that's, I think, the best way to make some of these shapes. And I'm going to undo this placement. And you can see now they're both selected. I'm going to show you what the other buttons do. Okay, so if I were to click the second one, it subtracts the foremost object, which would be the object on top, from the back object. And that's still one object there. So if I went to File, Place, and place an image in there, it's going to fill all of that. Okay, and again, I can move this around and put whatever I want in the viewfinder. And let's undo that again so you can see the other one. And this one actually just shows what has been intersecting. Okay, so that one's pretty neat. And then this one does the overlapping areas. And then this essentially does the opposite of what this one does and subtracts the background. Okay, and this is a cool tool that you could use for any number of things. Pie charts. This is a good way to make pie charts. I'll quickly show you that. If you were to create an ellipse, and I'm just going to make a square, a perfect ellipse here, and let's just make that maybe 9 by 9. All right, and then let's also make a square, and let's make that 4.5. I want to make it exactly half of the circle. Okay, and if I highlight both of those, I can use the align tools here. What I want to do is align the left edge and then also align the top edge. And now with those both selected, if I were to combine those two, it's going to give me this sort of arrow look almost. Let me undo that real quick. Now, so again, right here for this first one, I'm going to combine those two. For this one, I'm going to subtract. This one, I'm going to do the intersect. This one will do the other overlap. And then this one will do that right there. Okay, so you can see what kind of different effect that gives you each time. And again, these are all entire objects. Even this one here that looks like maybe it might be two, it's actually just one object now. So you can move that all at once. And I mentioned this was good for like pie graphs and such. Let's say that you were I don't know, you did a pie graph or a survey on something, and maybe it was something about the percentage of people who like, um, yeah, let's do that. Let's do color photos over black and white photos. So file, place, and then let's put one of those black and white. That'll work. Okay, so maybe that was how you actually portrayed that. So it's really kind of an interesting tool that you can use. And I think that pretty much sums it up. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.